If you fight with your mind, you lose. You cannot fight with your mind. Will not solve this problem. The best you can do in battling with your mind is suppress. And suppression does not work. The energies that you suppress just mull around underneath and jump up and get you later, right? There's no benefit to suppressing. Therefore, there is no benefit to fighting your mind. None. That is not how you solve your issue with your mind. You start to look at mind eventually when you get clear enough, and you realize, mind is like weather. Sometimes it's stormy, sometimes it's balmy, sometimes it's drizzling, and sometimes it's pouring. And there are even tornadoes. Just as the weather has a cause behind everything it does, the mind has a cause behind everything it does. You just have to be wise enough to realize what you're looking at as mind, all this talking and judgment and changes and arguments and different stuff going on in there, that's just the surface. That's the end result of the forces that are causing the mind to be. If you want to have a deep, meaningful life and really grow very deeply spiritually very quickly, you have to go to the root of the mind. You have to go to the root to find out, why is the mind doing what it's doing? That journey is your entire spiritual journey. Once you've solved the mind, it's over. You'll see. It just happens by itself. Everything opens up inside. The mind is the anchor that is binding the soul to this situation. So you watch and you try to see, why does the mind say what it says when it says it? Why does it do what it does? Why does it like some things and not other things? And why does it keep changing its mind? What is going on? What are the forces there? And you look deep, and what you will see, in truth, behind all of mind, is that you care about the outcome. You care about what's going to happen. So that if you're going on a date with somebody, you care about whether they like you or not. I mean, it sounds trite. See, truth always sounds trite. Why? Because it's the truth. You care about what happens in the different situations you interact with each day. If you're going to work, you care if you get the raise. You care if you succeed. You care if somebody else does better than you do. You care if you get recognized. You care if you get yelled at. You care about every single thing that takes place. You have a way you want it to be, and you care if it turns out that way. That is why your mind is so active. If you will watch your mind, it's doing the following. It's telling you how you want it to be. It's telling you how to get it that way. It's worrying about whether it will be that way. It's judging who's on your side, who's not, what forces are helping, what forces are going to hurt you. It's plotting and planning what to say, what not to say, judging you because you said something stupid. It's just in there constantly talking about what? How it wants to be and whether it's going to be that way, because I care about the outcome. It's all about caring about the outcome. Even in the past, I wanted it to be that way, but that was 5 years ago. The outcome, it just keeps mattering, and the mind just keeps talking about it. So that's one way to look about the mind. Let's say you really don't want something to happen. Do you notice that your mind cares whether it happens or not? What if I challenge that? What if I stop this intuitively obvious thing and just say, why? You will catch on one day that as long as you care about the outcome, your mind will never stop. You will have continuous problems. It will keep telling you what to do. It will fight with you all the time. And you will worry about every single thing that's going on. If I go out on a date with you and I care whether you like me or not, then I have to worry about whether you go out on a date with somebody else tomorrow. Then I have to worry about whether you called somebody up. Should I call them and check to see what you said when you all been there in high school? Check to see what they said about you. It all becomes very complicated, doesn't it? You ever been there? What is that? The root of that is what you need to look at. The root of that is that you care about the outcome of that date. It was not just a date. It wasn't just, let's go out, spend some hours together, and then I'll take you home and I'll go home. Wasn't that fun? That's not what it was. It was, I care about the outcome, not the event. That's the problem. I don't care about the hours we spent together. I care about what you're thinking after you leave. I care about what you're going to tell other people. I care about feeling rejected. I feel about being accepted. I feel about looking. It's not about the simple event that took place, which was two people spending a few hours together. So we never talk like this, do we? It's like it's so natural to be the other way that nobody even discusses what is truly natural and common, which is things are what they are, and here they are, and enjoy them and experience them when they're happening, and then deal with the next thing. And if you do that, the mind will stop bothering you. It's that simple. But you're not going to be able to do that until you understand what's really going on. So the first is you have to see the mind's the cause of every problem you have. Then you have to see that that's because the mind has preconceived notions about everything should be and it really cares about it. So now you have to question, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? Why am I making up what I want or I don't want with my mind instead of experiencing life? Why? Why can we not just accept reality, enjoy it, deal with it, interact with it, and keep going about our business of living our life? And why do we care so much about how we want things to be? And then we care about the outcomes and all that. And what you'll see when you look deeply, very deeply now, it all comes down to one point, is you'll start seeing, I'm not okay. That's probably the deepest realization and the most honest thing you will ever come to see. You have to look within yourself and see, I'm not okay. That's why I'm doing all this stuff. I'm not okay. That's why I asked you out on a date. And because I'm not okay, and that's why I asked you out on the date, I need something. I want something. I didn't really just want to go out with you. I wanted to be okay. That's what I wanted. And I thought that by going out with you, it would make me okay. But obviously the few hours we spent together didn't make me okay. By definition, I'm still not okay, right? So now I have to find out, do you want to go out again? That'll make me a little bit better. Or what are you telling other people? I got to worry about all the rest because I'm really using everybody and everything to try and be okay. Terrible thing to say, isn't it? You better say it. It's that simple. And that's what's underneath all of it. That's what's underneath all the mind is trying to figure out how to manipulate and control everything to be okay. Does my breath smell? Do I look good? Is my shirt tucked in right? In other words, how do I be okay? How do I be okay? How do I be okay? That's all it's saying all the time. It's just speaking in different languages. The language of relationship, the language of money, the language of possessions, the language of fear, the language of everything. Either you're trying to get things to be okay, or you're trying to avoid things that you think will make you worse. Who sees that? The reason I care about the outcome of anything, I don't care. I go to get a job, I get the job. And, I get the raise, I get the raise. I don't get the raise, I don't get the raise. People are happy with my work, they're happy with my work. They're not happy with my work, they're not happy with my work. What can I do? I'm doing the best I can. Here, coach, play the best I can. Right? I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. It's that simple, right? Well, good. We all tried. No, that's not what it's about. It's I'm not okay. Maybe I can play sports well enough to impress everybody and then I'll be okay. So then it's not okay if you sit on the bench, is it? It drives you crazy to sit on a bench and you're embarrassed. It's just a terrible thing. You don't want anybody to see you. It's like it has the opposite effect of everything you were looking for. That's why all this disturbance and difficulty is taking place. Because you're not coming to grips with the fact that it's not okay in there. It's not. Net is a spiritual person at some point takes this journey seriously and looks inside and says, not okay. And the world owes me nothing. Why would the world owe me anything? There's no way that this world is here to fix my problem. That is not why either evolution or God created the heavens and earth. If it was total random events that all came together from the beginning of the Big Bang and they just evolved themselves all the way out with survival of the fittest, they didn't do it for you. And if in 6 days, 7 days, whatever it is, God created the heavens and earth and just made the whole thing and the flood happened and Noah did his thing and all that took place, it wasn't for you. It was not so that when you have a problem, she shows up, right? And everything's just that way. It's like, it's not here for you. You're sitting inside, you're not okay, and you're in a world that really has nothing to do with you. It has to do with the forces of nature. It has to do with the laws of cause and effect. It's just like the weather. So you stop thinking it owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. The world is not the solution to your problem. Other people are not the solution to your problem. They're not the cause of your problem. They're outside, you're inside. You're trying to make them the solution to your problem. You're trying to say, I'm not okay, fix it. I'm not okay, get this way so that I feel okay. Everybody, listen up. Here's the program. This is what will make me okay. Get with it. Do it. You say it to everybody, one way or another. You stop doing that. And you sit there and say, I'm not okay. That's an inner problem. It has to have an inner solution. The outside is not the problem, therefore the outside cannot be the solution. The best it can do is be a Band-Aid put on top of it, and then you have to struggle to keep it that way. And you just finally get to the point of waking up and saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want to bother everybody else. I don't want to butt my head against every single thing in this world, because I got my preconceived notion of how it should be. I want to fix my problem, and that problem's inside. But I'm telling you, you must go through the stage of realizing that your solution is not outside. And they never said it was, and nobody owes you anything. If you're not okay inside, get to work. You have work to do. You're supposed to be okay inside. It's supposed to be wonderful in there. You're supposed to be happy and filled with love for no reason. No matter what anyone does, no matter what happens to you, no matter what takes place, and I mean literally no matter. You're filled with love, filled with peace, and filled with joy, and you couldn't care less. Every moment you do the best you can with everything you do, and you couldn't care less what happens. That's yoga. That's the essence of all spirituality. So when you do that, then you look outside and you say, this world owes me nothing. I think it's a beautiful stage. The world owes me nothing. I have no right to demand anything of anybody. If I'm not okay, it is a problem inside of me, and I'm going to work on it. And I'm not going to bother anybody else with it. Anybody. I'm here to enjoy and experience and express and serve, not take. And as long as I'm not okay, I'm taking. Unless I'm working with myself. So now you're in a good position. You are now at the root of mind. Because what you're going to see every single time is that the reason your mind talks is just trying to solve that problem. And eventually when you get clear enough and you can sit with your problem, that's what clear means, is I see I'm not okay, and that's okay. It's okay that I'm not okay. I'm not freaking out. It's okay. I went on a date with her, and I kind of had some stuff going. I see it. And she then went out with somebody else, and I'm freaking out. It's funny. Look at that thing in there. It's nuts. Well, I ain't bothering her, and I ain't bothering him, and I ain't even bothering me. It's just, I knew there was a part that wasn't okay, and there it is, being not okay. That's your starting position. You have to be willing to look the enemy in the eyes, to just look right at it and see it without trying to solve it and without freaking out. Until you can do that, it's going to run you. Because the moment it starts to not be okay, you're going to be out there doing what it wants you to do. And you'll see at that point that when you have something that's not okay inside, your mind starts a mile a minute. And what you learn to do is not listen to it. You don't fight it. You don't try to be okay. You just notice this pattern that there's a part that's not okay, and the mind is talking. Oh my goodness. And the more it's not okay, the more the sucker talks. You're trying to use things to be okay. When you cease to do that, your whole relationship with your mind changes. You have to be comfortable with the fact that there's something inside you that's not okay. It feels insecurity, it feels fear, whatever the heck it is. And you learn to sit with it. Now, once you can sit with it, then something very great happens. You look at it, you sit there and say, no, why would I not be okay? You know, I'm sitting on a planet, spinning in the middle of nowheres. It really doesn't make any difference what happens. I'm going to die pretty soon. Certainly, I don't care what age you are, it's pretty soon. In relationship to the 5 billion years that the Earth is, all right? It's just a blink of an eye, and you're just one of these billions and trillions that have passed through. So you sit with it, and you say to yourself one day, I don't care what happens. I'm going to do the best I can at everything. Every relationship, every interaction, every work I do, everything I do, and do the best I can, and I don't care what happens. Wait till you see what that does to your thought patterns. Because it cuts them off. It undercuts the entire reason that your mind is so active. You have this opportunity to jam and do an audition before somebody with some music. Okay, you want to do it? Sure. Are you scared? No. Why would you be scared? You don't care what happens. You're only scared because you care about the outcome. You're not scared to play your instrument. You play your instrument all the time. You play before all kinds of people. Why would you be scared to play before this person? Because you care if the person likes what you're doing, because you care that you get the gig, because you care that something happens. No, that's no good. You went the wrong way the entire way. You do the best you can because of the joy of doing the best you can. And you literally do not care about the outcome. If the person thinks you're the best musician ever walked the face of the earth and they want you to cut records, then I guess you'll cut records. If the person thinks, God, you're good for the kids and, keep doing it, knock yourself out, then say thank you. It was fun. I had a fun day. What'd you do today? I went on an audition. What'd you do today? I started a career. What's the difference? You're going to die soon. You hear me? The question is, are you enjoying the experience of your life? If you enjoyed going to the audition and that was fun, you enjoyed doing the best you could, and you just enjoy whatever happened, then the answer is yes, I enjoy it. If you only enjoy it if the person says you are, it's not enough that he says, all right, we want you to record. I want the best contract, and I want to be treated as the best one that you ever had, or I'm disappointed. You could do that, couldn't you? Mine wouldn't have any trouble doing that, would it? It's like, don't you see the thing is ruining your life? This is how you undercut it. It's so busy caring. And you sit there and say, I don't, I'm indifferent. That's your mantra. I'm indifferent. Now notice, I said you do the best you can. It's not like lazy. It's not like I don't care, I'm not going to do anything. No way. That doesn't work. You do the best you can, and you let go of any part of you that cares about the outcome. And what you're going to see is the party that's not okay, that's scared, and nervous, and self-conscious, and all that kind of junk, is going to start to fall away. Because it has nothing to lose and nothing to gain. Therefore, the events that it used to get all freaked out about and nervous about and so on, don't bother anymore. Because it didn't set a preconceived notion about what it wanted to happen. When it said, okay, I'm going to go to the audition, well, what do I want? You just say, I'm indifferent to yourself. I'm indifferent. It doesn't matter. I win either way. It's just the fun of doing it. But you say, but it's not true because my heart really, I don't care. I'm serious. If you start owning and giving in to the party that's not okay, then you'll be the party that's not okay. You have to start dealing with a deeper part of yourself. A part that says, I'm sitting on a planet, spinning around in the middle of nowheres, and I'm going to die. And the question is not whether I'm going to sit on the planet. I am going to sit on the planet. And the question is not whether I'm going to die. I am going to die. The question is, am I enjoying the journey? Not am I going to become, a gold artist. Not am I going to become rich. No, am I enjoying the journey? Not am I going to get married. Not am I going to have children. Nope. Am I enjoying the journey? That's the question. You were given this life on this planet and you're going to die, and you're a fool if you are not enjoying every single moment of the experience. How do you enjoy every single moment of the experience? Somebody will look at you like you're crazy. You can't enjoy every moment of the experience. Sometimes things will go your way and sometimes they won't. Wrong. Not if you don't have a way. If you don't have a way, if your way is the way, the Tao, if your way is the way, then your way is, I do the best that I can every single moment for the joy of doing the best that I can. And that is the end of it. That's the beginning and end of the entire thing. I have no preconceived notions about the outcomes. Nothing. I have no regrets about the past. I have no fears or hopes about the future. I am totally and completely enjoying and fulfilled with doing the best I can in the moment. Now all of a sudden the mind has nothing to say. And because the mind has nothing to say, and because you haven't built all these notions, you're not scared anymore. Imagine not being scared. That'd be a novelty, wouldn't it? And you also don't need anything. Why would you need anything? Sweep the floor. Yeah, okay. Go run the country. Okay. Doesn't matter. Same. You just do the best you can with whatever's before you, and you have the equal amount of joy as anybody could have with anything. There is no winning, there's no losing, there's no better, there's no worse. There's just the joy of doing the best you can with whatever it is. And then if there are parts of you that can't do that, those are the parts that are not okay. You let them go. You just keep doing the best you can, and you let go any part of you that can't get with the program. You just relax and release. And it will fall off. I guarantee you it will fall off. If you don't feed it, it cannot stay. And your mind will start to get quieter and quieter and quieter. When you don't use your mind to try to figure out how to be okay, you ain't got nothing to say. It's just amazing. Like, literally, you go to the doctor, and the doctor says, well, I don't know, I think you might have cancer. I'm sorry to tell you, but you might. I'm not sure yet. And it will take 3 months to figure it out. I want that when you walk away from that doctor, you never think about it again until you go in there in 3 months and he tells you whether you got it or not. Because there is no benefit to drive yourself crazy for 3 months. I want you to enjoy those 3 months as much or more than you've ever enjoyed any other 3 months that could ever. In fact, it's the only rational thing to do. If you don't have cancer and you went to the bother of bothering yourself for 3 months and being a neurotic mess and doing all that stuff when in truth you didn't have it, then was that smart? No. If you do have cancer and 3 months later you find you have cancer, you probably wish that you had used those last 3 months more meaningfully than being all upset and worrying about whether you have cancer. That little example I just gave you about cancer is about everything. The only rational thing to do is to enjoy what you're doing. Why? Because it's what you're doing. Everything else is either worrying about the past, which is dead, or getting involved with thinking about the future and worrying about the future, which hasn't happened yet. There is no joy in that. There is nothing. And so eventually you just catch on. That is your relationship with your mind. You say to your mind, you are no longer employed to solve my problem of not being okay. And the moment you start hearing your mind talking, you just don't listen to it. And if you don't, it'll stop. And then your life is very simple. You do the best you can at whatever you're doing. You say, but what will happen? Life will happen to you. And you'll do the best you can with it. Can you see that? The beauty of that. Just do the best you can with whatever life does. If you're playing golf and you hit on the rough, be the best hit out of the rough player. Don't sit there and say, it didn't land on the fairway, so I can't enjoy my round of golf. Every single part of it is fun. You just be the best at whatever it is. And you just do the best you can from wherever that is. Eventually you will catch on to the joy of that. It means nothing can ever go wrong. It means you can never have a problem. It means no one can disappoint you. No one can do anything. It's just beautiful all the time. And your mind doesn't have to think or talk. It went on a vacation. It's unemployed. And so you have all this Shakti. Imagine how much energy your mind wastes. That's yours now. That's all the stuff your mind was wasting, spinning its wheels and going crazy. All the Shakti naturally starts to center inside of you when you do this. So the path is not complicated, is it? It's so simple. And it happens to be the depth of all the deep teachings. Summary: do the best that you can at whatever you're doing. Don't judge what you're doing, and don't judge how you did. Just know, if you knew you did the best that you can, what right do you have to judge anything? You did the best that you can, and you let the rest go. All right? Your mind will stop. You will enjoy your life. You will be a blessing to everyone around you. How would you not be? Imagine interacting with somebody who did the best they can and they didn't ask for anything back. We call them saints. This is how simple it is. Instead of the complete, crazy complexity that the mind creates, work with these things, see what happens.